What up, everybody? And welcome to another episode of Creeps of the Crypt, a Tales from the Crypt podcast where two middle-aged men talk about Tales from the Crypt episodes, a series that aired over 40 years ago almost. That's correct.
It's getting up there, yeah.
Yeah. I'm your host, John, and along with me, as always, is my co-host.
Other Alan. What up, guys?
That's right. And it's been a while since we've done this podcast, and there's a lot of reasonings behind that. If you actually follow us on our Patreon, we have special things we're going to be doing. The link will be in the description box down below, or also in the description of wherever you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, wherever. We're doing this little segment called Books of the Crypt, where we discuss strips from EC Comics that we think would make good episodes if they ever revamped Tales from the Crypt, that we think they could adapt those strips into actual episodes. So we're doing that, and we're also going to be doing commentaries when we find, hopefully very soon, try to find time to do that, as well as what else are we going to be doing? Oh, revisiting the old first seasons, because we didn't film ourselves talking or discussing the season 1, 2, and 3, some of 3. But we're going to revisiting the episodes that we. So those will be up on Patreon before they'll be up on later on for YouTube, much later. So when we continue the series, when we're done, you'll see those revisit episodes on YouTube or on iTunes. And but people on Patreon, they'll get it when we do it. We're going to revisit all the old episodes and look at the old comics, because we didn't do that either when we first originally started discussing the episodes. We just talked about the episodes and what we liked about it. But how have you been, man?
Good, yeah. I look forward to kind of getting into those on the side, because it breaks things up a bit, having that extra content on the not the Patreon, the locals, right?
No, Patreon.
And, Patreon. Oh shit, I'm getting it all mixed up here. No, I've been good. Just still riding the wave. By the time this comes out, the Eagles had won the Super Bowl, so
You gotta say the big game.
that was a good time. The big game,
Yeah.
or the big game.
Yeah.
We'll cross that out, beat that out.
Yeah, the Eagles won the beep.
Yeah, well, that's been fun. What have you been? What you been up to? I know been a little dry out there, and Brittany posting videos.
Yeah, Brittany has not posted a video in a long time. I'm very upset. I don't even know what my phone's over here. Because I'm very upset. I'm in love with this woman. I'm going to the gym just for her. And that's another thing. I started going to the gym so I can lose weight and look pretty for Britney Spears. She's the love of my life. She just doesn't know.
You gotta move out to Mexico, right?
Supposedly,
over there?
Yeah, supposedly she moved to Mexico. I've just seen people think I'm probably joking about this, but for some reason I never liked her growing up. Never found her attractive. Something, I don't know, it's her eyes now. I'm just in love. I swear. I don't care about her money. I actually feel bad. Like, I look at her things and how much she used to dance and everything, and I feel like, damn, man, they really abused. And I said the same thing because of the big game. I look back at halftime shows, good ones, and they had Michael Jackson, like one of the greatest ones, right? And I was looking at him and I go, my God, do you know how much work that he had to do all those choreographs? Because I remember even seeing a Thriller documentary back in the day when I was younger, and they showed like how they had to do all the dance and everything, and the choreograph.
Oh, right.
Like, there's so much work, and then you have to do that for like you're going on tour, and you have to do that every single night. And the same thing with Britney. So how many, like, it's crazy. I feel so bad for these people. No wonder they abuse drugs and everything, because it's a constant work, like hours and hours and hours of practice, and then you go on stage and you're doing the same routines. You have to memorize everything. Anything could go wrong, and you're doing that night after night after night after night. I mean, Taylor Swift, I'm not a huge fan of hers, but I do admire her music. I think she's a talented writer. I don't like anything else about her, but I will say she's a good songwriter and she has a lot of hits. But she don't got to go on stage and dance and choreograph. So for her, it's easy just to keep going all over. You know what I mean? But
usually those bigger pop stars, they used to do a lot of work, at least with all the choreograph dances and all that. So
yeah,
no, it all piles up, and who knows? There's a lot more there that we don't know.
Yeah. But one more thing before we get into this. A friend of mine Well, she's not really a friend of mine. It's more of an acquaintance. I met her once.
Oh yeah.
Met her
All right, what do
once,
we got?
talked to her a few times, but I just found out, which I still like. I think she's a friend. Because I guess I could say a friend, somebody I know. She is interviewing A.L. Katz. She posted like, "Oh, I'm interviewing
shit.
A.L. Katz." Yeah, and what should I ask him? And I was gonna say something, and I said, "No, I don't want to get involved in this conversation." I know. Look, there's a reason why we haven't reached out, because some of these people reached out to us, or where we do reach out when we ask like John Lovitz or other people, questions about Tales from the Crypt. Some of them have said, "Hey, why don't you, hit me up? We'll do an interview." I do plan to get not start. I'm not gonna say start. I do plan to interview some people that worked on the show, and I would love to interview A.L. Katz and ask him questions. I see he's doing a bunch of interviews talking about Tales from the Crypt now. Every time maybe it's because of our show, the algorithm's like showing me things, but he's constantly like being asked questions, being interviewed and things like that. Funny enough, he did write this episode that we're going to be discussing today. So,
Oh, buddy, yeah, that's true. He wrote this one.
Yeah. So
well, yeah.
I would love to interview him and whoever other actors that are around or producers or writers. I would love to, but technically, right now, it's still maybe in the later seasons, when we start getting to later seasons. Yes, now those will probably also be featured on Patreon first before they're featured on here. But yeah, we got to work out the time difference between both of us.
May have to go to that well at some point if we get to like season 5 or so. It's just because I heard that it started getting bad. It started getting bad after the season 4, I think, because they were shooting out in like the UK or something.
That was season 6, I think, or 7.
Oh yeah. Well, whenever we get to it, we'll have to go back to that well. I would be down. I know, like I mentioned, I sent you a couple of clips, and A.L. Katz has been on a couple of podcasts, and I think he's got his own thing going on too. He's like working on some kind of episodic thing or some podcast. Like,
I saw one of them,
like a podcast like show.
I saw one of the videos you sent me, and it was funny enough. I don't think it's actually you sent me that one. You sent me an interview he did, but there was another interview I saw him in. I didn't watch the interview, but I watched a video. It's this, I forgot the guy. I was following him for other shows. He talked about like Charles in Charge. Fantastic. I wish I knew his name, Atomic something. And he does great videos, and he delves into this all the backstory and everything like that. And he started getting into Tales from the Crypt. And I think I sent it to you, and it was a whole thing. And then he started talking about the spin-off series. And funny enough, one of the spin-off series he talked about was a sci-fi series. I think they asked A.L. Katz about it because he was on that too. With a virtual reality host, like a Crypt Keeper type, but she was like a CGI robot, that she had like big boobs. And I was like, I remember this show. I saw this show when I was a kid. I was like, I was up late at night, and I was expecting, you see that robot, you're expecting like softcore porn, like Emmanuel or whatever. They used to have like these series called Emmanuel on Cinemax or Skinemax. So that's what I was expecting. It was always some sci-fi thing, and I was like, ugh, I'm just like fall asleep while I was watching it. But I do remember that robot. Anyway, let's talk.
Send me something of that, because I never heard of this one.
Oh, I'll send it to you. I didn't send you the video. I'll send it to you. I remember that one. There was another show too I would love to talk about. We could do that on Patreon. It's called Monsters. It wasn't. I don't think anybody involved in Tales from the Crypt did it. We worked on that show, but that was another show that was really cool. The intro, and it was interesting. Anyway, you can see we're kind of avoiding talking about this episode, at least for me. So I will get to I will talk about this episode. This episode is titled "This'll Kill Ya." It's season 4, episode 2. It aired on June 27th, 1992. It was directed by Robert Longo, who before this directed nothing but music videos, and Johnny Mnemonic. That was the last thing he ever made, was Johnny Mnemonic. He directed that. And
Makes sense.
It was written by Gilbert Adler and A.L. Katz. The episode stars Dylan McDermott. When I look at Dylan McDermott, right, when I was watching this episode and I saw him in it, and I'm like, this fucking guy, he never had to he never had a dry spell where he couldn't get a girl to go home with him in his life. There's no way. This guy, I look at him, I'm like, this guy's just been attractive his whole entire life. He's had probably the easiest life in the world based on just his looks. Like, I'm like, damn, my God. He looks the same then as he does now. Like, he never looked bad. I think he's like 60 years old. The last thing I saw him in was American Horror Story Season 1. Oh, actually, no, he was in a later season, but just the ending. But he was in that. Also stars...
That was a good season.
Sonia Braga, who I remember in a movie with Raul Julia and Richard Dreyfuss. That's what I remember her from the most. And
oh yeah, it was the kiss of the Spider Woman. I remember that one.
No, that's not it.
Is that it?
Raul Julia is in that. Raul Julia worked with her a lot. But that's not it. It was something about it was in 1988, it's like an 80s movie where Richard Dreyfuss plays like a actor. It's like Dave. It's like the movie Dave, where Kevin Kline's like an actor, and then he looks like he's lookalike of the president, and then the president gets sick or dies or heart, and then they get Kevin Kline to pretend to be the president. The same thing, except it's a different country, and Richard Dreyfuss is an actor, and he has to pretend to be this dictator. And I think Sonia's his mistress, and then he gets to keep the mistress or whatever.
Moon over the Parador.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I found here. I haven't seen this one. It's got a lot of.
Used to be on channel.
Known folks in here.
Used to be on channel
Sammy
11.
Davis Jr. was in this.
I don't remember. Last time I saw it was a kid because it was on TV all the time. It was always on TV. And Cleavon Little.
Hey, where are the white women at?
From Blazing Saddles is in this episode. Alan, why don't you tell us what the premise is of this episode?
The synopsis of this is just two colleagues accidentally inject the experimental virus into their boss. That'll eventually kill him, and it just tries to get revenge on him, believing it was no accident.
Yeah, and it's a lot of jargon.
Summarize that one.
A
lot of bullshit in the beginning. It took like 15 minutes to get decent at least.
Yes, when the episode.
A good 5-10 minutes is just a bunch of.
That's when he gets
science,
injected.
Jargon and Dylan McDermott trying to bang. Sophie.
Sonia.
Sonia.
I don't know what her name is.
No, that's the actress. Yeah, Sophie. I think it was Sophie Wagner.
Yeah.
They're like colleagues, like in the some kind of medical field or. Yeah, just a bunch of bullshit, really.
Well, I would say this.
A lot of jargon there.
It starts out really cool where he's dragging the body down out of his trunk down a street, and he's dragging this body.
Yeah, that part goes good.
Yeah, and then he walks into the police station, and he goes, and they look, and it's like, oh my God, it's really shot very well. The cinematography is very good. I love the shadows and everything. To me, when I rewatch this episode, it feels like a noir episode, but I was like, well, wait a second. What exactly is a noir? What's noir about? Why do I feel like this is noir? It says, film noir is as much about the atmosphere and mood it creates as it is about the plot. So I think that's why I consider this kind of noir, because of the atmosphere more than the actual story. It's not like, he's not really narrating it the entire time, actually at all. He just says, he goes, what's he say? He goes, my name's George Gatlin, and this is the man who murdered me. Right? That's what he says.
Yeah.
Or killed me, or, I'm dead. It was interesting enough to start out the episode.
It started out strong with that, because he just kept thrown in right away. Like, he drags dead body from his trunk and into the police station. I could see how it could be kind of a noirish episode, but I don't know. I mean, that's a very loose definition of it. That's like you said. The only thing about it is the atmosphere, and then they occasionally play some music that sounds like something you'd hear out of a noir film. But
I don't know. I think it was more so the lighting for me, and just more so the cinematography more than anything, and kind of like the way it's written, and it's written more like a mystery trying to solve. Well, even though it's not a mystery, because he's like, anyway, they work for a research lab where they're doing testing on some thing called the H cell, which is like a cancer. They're like developing it, enhancing it to like so they can find an antidote so they could like kill it. And anyway, they're working on the antidote for it. So George is telling people that, or investors, that the antidote's ready, that they found the cure, and it's going to be ready for clinical testing and everything. And one of the other researchers gets pissed about this, played by Cleavon Little. What's his name again? Pack Brightman. He goes crazy, and they start arguing.
One of his research partners, yeah.
They start arguing, and George tells him, like, do you think they give us this money because you're smart? You know, or as he goes, it's because I have to do this and that and all these things. And Sonia's like in the middle of this, and they both like dislike George in a sense. They like him, but they dislike him. They like him because they can use him so he can wheel and deal and get the investors to come in, the money to come pouring in. But in general, they don't like him because he's a liar, he's a cheat, he's a manipulator, and he's a shyster, basically. So it's like a give and take, but they use him or whatever. And also Sonia, he has to inject him because he has diabetes with his insulin. And for some reason, this idiot puts it in the fridge with all the other fucking H cells and all the cancer cells, so they could accidentally inject him into that. Well, they actually say in the beginning, she goes, "Oh, we could one day we're gonna accidentally inject one of the rabbits with your diabetes thing, with your insulin." Anyway, so they argue.
They made a reference to that, yeah.
They argue, and then he leaves because he's pissed off. Go to a bar, which is like the bar they go to every day. I think they're at a college campus, so they're getting funded by the government. I think they get grants or something. I don't know.
That sounds about right.
Seems like they're at a college.
Waste taxpayer money on some drinks.
Yeah, it seems like they're in college. And then he goes there and he starts talking to Sonia, who's upset for what he said to Pac. So she's like, and she's also pissed because he does this all the time and it's not ready and he shouldn't have done it. So now she gets on his case, and then he doesn't care. He's like, whatever, baby, blah, blah, blah. She leaves, and then all of a sudden you follow him go into her house and essay her. So you think it's like he's got.
Well, he couldn't get
throws
in
at the wall. Basically, does. Yeah.
He just they didn't break in, but he had a key to her place because
they used to bang.
It's insinuating that there were a thing or they had something on the side.
Yeah, and then and then they bang, and then she's like, she's fighting him. She doesn't want him to do it. It's like, and then she lets him do it, and then they have sex, and then
I do it.
She's like, oh, did you tell Pac? Because she has a terrible accent. Did you tell?
It's rough.
Did you tell Pac? I don't know why they casted her for this. I was trying.
Yeah, it's so out of place because one, doesn't seem like it's her native language, no, English, and
Spanish.
It's just,
she's Brazilian.
I don't know, like that. I don't know. She just wasn't really good in this episode.
And she was hot like in the 70s and early 80s. I felt like she got cast because she was like a sex symbol back then, and like you're like, and then you're like, but I don't know. I'm like, she's like 10 years older than Dylan McDermott in this episode. I'm sorry to say,
just didn't buy it.
No, and then like. He's like, oh, yeah, baby, you're so sexy. And I'm like, Dylan McDermott is telling her, I mean, no offense to her. She was a beautiful woman when she was younger, very beautiful. But Dylan McDermott, like I just said earlier, he doesn't look like he went a day of his life without getting any woman he wanted. Like, some people are blessed. Some men he's blessed. Like, he's blessed.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Pete Davidson. He looks like Donkey from Shrek. And guess what? He gets all the women he wants because Ariana Grande told the world in a song that he's got a donkey dick. So there you go. That's his claim to fame. That's why he doesn't have to worry about women. And Dylan McDermott, nobody says that, but they go, hey, guy's hot. I'll go to bed with him just so I can say I will go to bed with him. Well, anyway.
I mean, different strokes with different folks, but yeah.
So Sonia,
I would say I could say Pete Davidson's pulling better looking women than Dylan McDermott in this episode.
Oh yeah. Anyway, she looks rough in this one.
It's crazy to say, but yeah, we'll move on from that. I had a touch point on that. Just didn't buy it.
And
didn't
then
buy that.
So she makes George go and apologize to Pac tomorrow. And so he goes, okay, we'll be back or whatever. She's like, I don't want to do this anymore. But he's like, you don't got to say, basically. What a real weirdo. But I do like the lighting in the apartment as well. I do like the music in this episode, and that's why I think it feels like a noir, even though it's not. I like the shadows on the floor whenever he's walking by. I like the blue tint. I always like the blue tint. I like the blue tint in, the Secret episode as well. He goes the next morning to Pac, and he apologizes to Pac, and they forgive each other, whatever, and then he sits down, and I don't understand this in a way.
Yeah, this part was weird, too.
Kind of when you think about it afterwards.
And then when it wraps up at the end.
Yeah, you're like, why?
Still even weird.
Yeah, that's exactly why. I'm like, wait, this is sad because he apologized. Okay, fine. He says, go get me. I guess go get me my insulin. I got to take my shot. So Pat goes and gets it, gives it to Sonia. Sonia injects him. He goes, no, don't.
Yeah, Pat goes, wait.
Yeah, this is the wrong one. I gave you the H cell. And it's like,
And yeah, like the earlier reference just came around about there. I was like, you already knew something like that was going to happen.
Yeah. I mean.
Which is still stupid. Like, why did he put it all the way in the back instead of the front? I mean, they're labeled there, but it's weird. This is just a matter of convenience for this plot.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all freaked out. I was like, they didn't seem as freaked out as he was. As even his acting like he got shot with this thing is not the best either. It was a little rough for me.
He goes, I'm not gonna die, am I? And they go, we just injected you with like 50 cc's of the H cell. It's like, what's going to happen to you? Oh, it's basically like, you're gonna die. And he goes, well, give me an antidote or something. And they go, we're 6 months away from an antidote. And he does overact. And he's like slamming his hand and spit coming out of his mouth, and it was just like,
I don't know. The whole thing was a fever dream too. Like I guess the way that he was feeling, it was just weirdly executed.
Yeah, they injected him with something. Well, spoiler alert. So we'll just cut short because this is like. This episode is like, it was like 15 minutes of getting to know this guy, and he's a dirtbag, and you kind of want, like, you already know where the story's going. Like, you know where it's going right after. Once the first time, okay, as soon as she goes and why'd you put your insulin with the H cell? You already know what's going to happen. And then when he gets into the fight, and then in the beginning, he says, this is the guy who killed me. So you already know.
Start putting it all together.
It's like right away, yeah. So basically, like they injected him with something that's not the H cell. It's something that's going to make him feel a little bit sick. He goes to a bar. He's feeling sick, seeing things. He starts seeing people, which this is just his psychological, because they told him that it's basically going to produce a bunch of tumor cells in your body, and you're going to start growing tumors, and you only got like 24 hours to live. So he starts seeing the tumors in him. I will say again, I do like the way it's shot, because the guy's a music director. He does cool shots of like blood going through the arteries.
Yeah, blood cells going through the arteries. Yeah, that part was cool. That's only the upside.
And then cutting it, splicing it with like him having sex with Sonia, and then cutting back like him being mad. So it worked. The directors, I'm surprised. You said, I'm like, this episode, to be honest, the directing's good, the music's good, the cinematography is fantastic. Right, I really do like everything about this episode except the story, which, and I feel bad when sometimes you deviate from the source material and it's worse than the source material, because the source material for this is much better and is faster. It's like this, and they could have done that with this as well, But anyway, he goes to a bar. He's trying to call Sonia on the phone, but her phone line's busy. He goes to a bar, talks to the bartender that they know, because it's like Cheers, everybody knows your name. So the bartender tells him, oh yeah, they was just in here with Pac, and they were both laughing. They were having a good time. And he was like, what? So then maybe they found the cure, right? So they were laughing, they found the cure. Finally, I'm going to be alive. So he rushes to Sonia's house, opens the door, and there's a message, answering machine message. And it's Pac saying, I feel bad that we did this to him. Basically like saying like, they did it on purpose, even though they didn't.
Pretty much insinuating they're trying to kill him, right?
Like I mean, it kind of be a weirdo. Like
that's the whole setup. The whole setup from that beginning part we had with the insulin in the back of the fridge.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, okay." Like I guess he thought the fight was so bad that this guy hates him so much. Pac hates him so much that he was gonna kill him because of
He
this.
took it personally.
Yeah. So he's like, okay. So he goes to the lab and he fucking just kills this guy. He says,
He just whacks him with a baseball bat.
yeah, and he just beats him
That's
down.
a cool shot.
And then he's like, oh yeah, he goes, that was whoa, what a sweet stroke. And he's like,
Yeah.
It's like shaking on the floor. He goes, oh, not yet. And then he goes, grabs the H cell, and he slams it right into his heart, and then he shoots him with the H cell in his heart. He's like, oh, no. Which is terrible. It's like,
It's crazy.
Yeah. So then it leads to where we started the episode, where he takes.
That was a cool little turnaround. Like 'cause the way that they did it, I don't know. Like it was like a flash forward almost, but then. Well, even in the comic later, no, even in the same, like it ends with the beginning part and then him telling the story. Like the cops are all just standing there pointing their guns at him, telling the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where that.
And
that
then
ended.
Sonia comes in, and she's no sells.
No, her acting's terrible.
She no sells the bodies. And she doesn't cry.
Worst,
She goes,
like reaction to like her colleague being just bloody dead in front of the police station.
She should have been like, "Oh my god, I did this because I'm gonna go to jail." It should have ended with her going, like them arresting her. You're under arrest, ma'am. So she tells him like, "We didn't inject you with the H cell. We doctored her, but she can't even speak." And then she's like, "We gave you something to make you feel sick." I'm Spanish, okay? I can make fun. So's Alan. We both can make fun, lady. So. He goes, we wanted you to have a better attitude. And he called me to tell me he found the antidote. And then he was like, he looks at the camera too. That was some whack shit. Like he looks at the camera like where he realizes, he goes, we have a problem with the H cell. We found it. And he's like.
He's just staring off into space, just realizing what he's done.
Yeah. And then the episode ends.
I thought I was gonna end in the classic Tales from the Crypt manner, or where they go to the prison and then get the electric chair.
Yeah, something like that. That would have been funny. That would have been better.
That would have done something. Yeah, you're right. That this episode had potential. Like the only good parts of it was the aesthetics or the look of how it was shot. There were some pretty cool shots there. Like I like the little, they tilt the camera a bit and they zoom in, and just a classic way that they lit the room at night. There's some cool elements there. But the story had.
You know what's funny about this?
Wasn't keeping up with that.
It's like they tried. I don't know if A.O. Katz wrote that episode, but like it was like they tried to it's called This'll Kill You. I don't know if they were trying like, you know what, let me write it like kind of like a story like Ease'll Kill You. And then, like have a female and a male and he's in love with her, but the character is terrible. And in Ease'll Kill You, it's a guy who had problems before. He was alcoholic. He can't do his artwork. He meets a girl that loves him and he likes her. And then he accidentally kills somebody and then he gets his mojo back to do artwork and he's selling it. So it's different. This is just like some asshole that nobody likes and you don't like. And he's a cocky, arrogant prick. And then you hire this actor who's beautiful, so nobody's going to like him at all. And then maybe girls will be like, oh, I just want to look at him. But I don't know. It's weird. But the comic is much better. And that sucks. And then I didn't read the comic first. I've seen this episode already twice. Since the last time I saw this, or this was like an episode I never really remembered, to be quite honest.
I kind of felt the same way because I watched it way back when you got me into the show, and I didn't remember what the hell happened in that episode either.
Yeah, so I watched this.
And I rewatched this.
I watched this. I was like, I was looking for the good, which I did find, as we said, and then I watched it again today, and now I just read the comic today. I didn't read it. I had it for like a week. I could have read it. And the comic is much better because it's fast and it makes sense.
The ending was decent. It was kind of ironic in a way. It would have been a better way to have ended it, but
much better.
I don't know. Like it's just a similar idea, but just executed differently.
Better. So he comes in with I understand why they picked it. Like if anything, it's a good pick. But why stray so far away from the actual? You know what I mean?
No, I get it. like the only difference with the comic in this is that there's no female colleague, or it was just like him and like somebody that it was funny like how they did it too. They just had him slip and he was holding on to the needle and just
he
got
just
injected
slipped and fell and injected him into it. And then this guy is like, as his friend, so he doesn't think anything of it. And they're all like trying to tell him like, don't, like he's like pretending he's upset, like depressed about doing it or whatever. It's much better, and it's just done better. And yeah, it looks like they're at Yale over here. And but in the comic they work for the government. They get government grants to work on bioweapons, right? So they're working on a bioweapon, and he accidentally injects his boy with this bioweapon, and they're basically telling him like, is that one drop of virus Y44 gamma is enough to kill an army. 10 cc's of this test solution diluted down 100,000 units is still sufficient to kill a man in 24 hours. And good God in heaven, Vic, there's no cure. And he goes, Vic, this is his friend Joe, because in the story, Vic Gatling, not George Gatling, and his friend is Joe, not Pack, is his partner. They don't think they say his name, but I forgot his last name. But he goes, Vic, oh Lord, I killed you, my best friend. He says, Joe, wait, it was an accident. Don't blame yourself, Joe. And he goes, let him go, Vic. He's got to be alone. So then Joe goes around and he starts enjoying life. Because he's like, I don't got time to live. Let me see, walk around tonight. He's going around, listening to people talk, seeing lovers kiss. He passes his temperature. He says, move over. You're going to add one more tomorrow, And then he starts to cry because he realized, like, I don't want to die. It's just, sometimes daily I would say, like, oh, I wish I wasn't alive or whatever. And then when it came down, when I was worried about my heart, I was like, I don't want to die. I was like, that's life, bro. Life's,
I want to live.
I want to live. But anyway, so he was looking for Joe afterwards. He goes, let me find Joe. I want to hang out with Joe before I die. I want to be with Joe. I don't want him to feel bad. I want to be with him. So he goes to Joe's house. Joe's not there. He goes, oh, poor guy. So then he goes home, and he gets a phone call. And he goes, is that you, Vic? The phone. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, don't feel bad. Don't worry about it, whatever. And then Vic's like, he goes, it was an accident. Don't worry about it. And Joe goes, no, Vic, you're wrong. I'm a criminal. That was no accident. My shooting that stuff into you, I planned it. He's like, Joe, you can't mean you wanted to kill me? But why? Why? You're my best friend. He goes, don't give me that best friend routine. In this dog-eat-dog society, it's every man for himself, always. And you were always getting the credit, the glory, and the gravy. Joe, gravy. I'd move into your spot if you were out of the way. And how perfect will and how perfect with all those bugs jabbed into you, all neatly looking like an unfortunate accident. I tripped, Vic. Yeah, on purpose. No, Joe, don't. He goes, I murdered you, Vic, and I'm in the clear. Pete and Carl were witnesses. They saw that it was nothing but a sheer accident. They'll testify. Blast you! Blast you! He killed me. He's my murderer. But he's free, safe from justice, safe from the law, is he? Well, not safe from me. And he goes looking for him. He goes everywhere thinking he would be running away. But he goes, why would he run away? Right? He goes to the fucking train station. He goes to the airport. He goes to a hotel. He goes to a diner. And finally, a lot
of time with this damn thing.
Yeah, he got hours. He's up. That's another thing they add to it. Like at one point, he starts feeling like he has a headache or something. He goes, is that because I've been up for 24 hours, or is that because I'm dying? I'm starting to get the effects of I'm gonna die. So he goes, no, you know what? He'll be in the lab. Why would he not be in the lab? So he goes to the lab, and I love this picture because he goes, hello, Joe. And he goes, huh? Oh, Vic, wait!
So Joe.
And he just smashes him over the head with a microscope and just beating him and beating him and beating him. And yeah, that's how it ends. And then they showed, The cops are looking at him in the police station. They believe him. They go, all right, call an ambulance for this guy. So they go call an ambulance, and then they check his pockets, and they go, oh, good Lord. He goes, what is it? What is it? And he read the letter, and it's basically like, April Fools.
Oh,
like,
man.
It's a joke. You're not dying, buddy. April Fools. Which I think could have worked exactly that way. Why did they change all this shit?
Yeah, they could have tweaked this and just kept the same elements of this,
Or
and
they could.
just,
I don't know why. I don't
extend it out, or just kind of make him seem like
I feel
I
bad.
would spend all day and night trying to find him, like he was committed.
I feel
Passionate.
bad. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why they changed it so much. To be honest, I don't want to say anything bad.
We're gonna have to ask.
I know that's the problem. It's like I don't want to say anything bad, but like in the same sense, it's like the comic story is pretty good. I mean, you can stretch this out, possibly.
Well,
like,
to his credit, he wasn't. Doesn't seem like he was the only writer on there, but
yeah,
I would have done this a bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, I guess
What would you rate it? Yeah,
comes our rating. Comes our rating on this one. You know, I think just like we mentioned, just the positive elements, just some of the direction and filming of it, like how it was shot and the lighting was solid. But I can't really say a whole lot of good things about this one. I mean, Dylan McDermott in some parts he was good, but when the part when he got shot with this supposed virus or whatever, what have you, yeah, that's where he lost me a bit. He was a little bit overacting on that one. And the rest of the cast were, I mean, they're okay, but the yes, Sophie or Sonia Braga, yeah, wasn't really the best fit for this one, like we talked about. And yeah, it's not the worst one I watched, but it's not something, yeah, I would probably watch again. But there are good elements in there that I wish that they had done differently. I'd say I'd say the 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 out of 5 is pretty fair.
That's exactly what I'm giving it. 2.5 out of 5. I like the cinematography. I think the director did a good job with what he had. Just don't know what they did all this. But then again, maybe they already had people attached to the episode, and then they just worked the script around the people, you know. Or maybe situations changed and they had to change the script day up. You know, like there's a lot of things that happen when you write a TV show or something like. So anything could have been the reason, but I think that the original concept was much better. It was very fast. Yeah. The idea of him walking in with the body is great. It should have been more of a mystery as to, like, I don't know. He could have changed it.
Cool.
Yeah, like somebody injected him, or he was somewhere and he felt a poke on his arm, or it's like he was giving a presentation with a bunch of kids, and because he has his personality, whatever, like a competitor or something that does not, you know, there's a lot of different ways you could have done it. I don't know.
Yeah, they spent too much time building up this
relationship,
this whole, like, trying to explain the virus and the relationship between...
Oh, it was exposition city. The first 5 minutes it was just like, you know, the HL virus, it does this and it does that and it does this, and he goes, we don't have a goddamn cure yet. You know, it takes 6 months to 7 months, almost 2 years. We've been working on this for a long time, and you have the nerve to go do this. I don't give a fuck. It was just like, oh, brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
First 5 minutes, and then the next is just Dylan McDermott trying to bang Sophie, and then him coming over her place with the key and just having his way,
just doing it. She was like, "No,
so, like,
I don't want to."
Like a Nip Tuck episode almost.
Yeah. I want to do nothing with you. And then he's like, "Hello, beautiful." You're like, "Oh my god, this guy's a," and then he basically does, because she's like, "No," and then she finally gives up. It's like, what the fuck is this?
She's playing hard to get.
Dylan McDermott wouldn't have to fucking.
Even with Dylan,
he wouldn't even have to. We could have went out. Just said, "Hey, how's it going?" It
would be cool. Yeah, it would have been cool if they kept it, like you said, mysterious. That would have been
McDreamy? No, who's McDreamy? There's some guy McDreamy. I think it's Dylan McDermott.
Oh, that's the Patrick Dempsey, right?
That's
they call him McDreamy.
Why would they call him Patrick Dempsey McDreamy? Who's McDreamy?
Know. They would call him that because of that show.
Derek Shepard.
Yeah, they call him that. Oh, his character was called that, right? I don't know. I never watched what was that show?
Oh yeah, it's Patrick Dempsey.
Grey's
They
Anatomy.
called him
McDreamy.
Hey, well, you know.
That's what they said about Matt Bomer, I guess, and he turned out to be.
Well, actually, I believe Patrick Dempsey was married or is still married to an older woman. Much older.
Oh yeah,
woman.
how old?
I don't remember. I mean, I heard that story when I was a kid, but I don't know if it's true. I never looked into it. Actually, I did look into it. I did look into it, and I think it is true. I think she's like 70, and when he was like 50 or something. Let me see something. That's more interesting than this episode. Patrick.
No, it would have been cool if they spend like that extra time they wasted, and it's just him like trying to figure out between if it was this guy, Pack, or the girl that injected him with it. Like maybe he wakes up and finds the needle mark on him or something. I don't know. Anything would have been better than just that huge exposition and just a whole like 10-15 minutes of wasted time to get to that part where he gets accidentally injected.
Oh my God, he divorced her. She died.
I know she was sick.
No. The woman that I'm talking, not her. Patrick Dempsey, he was married to a woman. Yeah, she was older. Her name was Rocky Parker. She was she was a director. I wonder what she directed Can't Buy Me Love that he was in. I guess that's when she took advantage of him. Because he was Patrick Dempsey, 1987.
He groomed him.
1966, 76.
Like his mom.
86, 20. He was 20 years old. He was 21 years old where he did Can't Buy Me Love. Oh my God! You know what? Is that the movie? No. Is Patrick Dempsey? There's a movie with this teenager who will go around. I think it's Patrick Dempsey. Yes, it is. It's called Loverboy. It's Patrick Dempsey. I think it is. It's where he would go around. Oh my God! I remember this so much. I don't know. I used to be on HBO or cinema all the time. So he worked at a pizzeria and he needed extra money. It was Patrick Dempsey, and they would call in, and because somehow it's basically Deuce Bigelow. Like he gets confused with the gigolo. So then because he's so good, he's like 20 years old, or 18 years old. Every time they ordered the pizza from him, the extra anchovies, that's where he knows he's going to have sex with somebody. So he becomes like a gigolo. What? And then in the end, it's like his mom calls. And he finds out that his mom is gonna cheat on his dad, and then she's like, "What are you doing here?" She doesn't know that he is the. It's I forgot. Is that Patrick Dempsey? I think it is because Loverboy. Yeah, Patrick Dempsey, 1989. Yeah, that's what it.
I don't understand women.
His girlfriend dumped him.
I'm gonna find someone that knows how to treat a girl.
Now women can't resist him.
Hi. Take your clothes off.
Take me!
They wouldn't take no for an answer. They were nice people.
And their husbands are out to kill him. Patrick Dempsey is Loverboy.
I believe you know my wife.
No anesthetic.
Loverboy, rated PG-13.
Oh, Dr. Picardo. What's rating? 6.1? I remember liking this.
I never heard of it.
I remember liking this. Notice how all of a sudden, somehow, I don't think Patrick Dempsey's in a single episode of Tales from the Crypt, but somehow he got brought into this podcast episode. But anyway, yeah, that's a great movie. I loved it. 6.1. This rating's terrible. I gotta watch it again. That's how much I love it. Yeah, so she died. He divorced her. He married her for like a few years. This Rocky Horror. Loverboy. I forgot what song they used in the beginning of the movie too. It was like a Grease thing. So like the beginning of the movie was like animated. You know, like Grease, like they had like an animated thing for this too. It was a pretty good movie, man. I want to watch it right now. I'm going to watch Loverboy. Hey, people, if you're listening, you should check out Loverboy. It's better than this episode.
Check out our commentary.
Yeah. No, imagine we do what we should do. That was great. Anyway, yeah, so that's that, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, we have a Patreon if you'd like to check out the extra stuff that we're going to be doing on there. We also post other things on there as well. You'll see when you join. Besides, we got the radio episodes that the Sci-Fi Channel did with Tales from the Crypt that they did exclusively and they posted on there. We're going to be doing the Books of the Crypt, which is where we talk about strips that we like that we think could be adapted into episodes. We have one available for free on YouTube. If that's the first episode, you can check it out there. We also have the commentaries up that we did, visual commentaries for Creep Show 1 and Creep Show 2. So you can watch it with the movie, our commentary when we watch that. We'll be doing Bordello of Blood and Demon Knight. And there's a third Tales from the Crypt. And also Tales from the Dark Side 3 was originally supposed to be Tales from the Crypt. So the third Tales from the Crypt movie. So we will be doing that too. But yeah, those will all be up there. So check it out. At the link is in the description box at our Patreon. You can follow us at Creeps of Crypt on X. And yeah, that's that. Anything you want to shout out?
Nothing major. Yeah, if you can follow me on X, I'm under Splinter47, and that's where I'll be there.
And also, the reason why these aren't updated as often as other people do is because we both have 9 to 5s, right? We both work. I work 7 days a week. He works 5 days a week. He's got a family, kids, right? Yeah, so I can't just stop just to do this stuff. So sorry, but we do update as much as possible.
Fun side thing we do.
Yeah, we do update as much as possible, and it's only, I think, $5 on Patreon. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll see you next month when we do episode 3, and we will talk to you guys next time.
Peace.
Ciao.